It all starts with something so simple, so boring, right? A single software update. But what if I told you that one little update is actually part of this huge, high-stakes race, a race that you're in, whether you know it or not? So today, we're going to unravel that story. Let's dive in.
Okay, so picture this. You're a system administrator, right? You walk into work, coffee in hand, and you see this on your screen: access denied. Your heart just drops, panic starts to creep in. What does that even mean? Is something broken, or is someone trying to break in?
Well, in this case, it means this. On March 19th, 2026, the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, that's CISA for short, they put out this really stark warning. And it said a critical Microsoft SharePoint vulnerability is now being exploited in attacks. Yeah, the clock is officially ticking.
So a warning like that, it immediately puts this whole thing into a totally different category. This isn't some what-if scenario anymore. No, this is a what's happening right now kind of problem.
So on that day, March 19th, CISA officially added this SharePoint flaw to its catalog of actively exploited vulnerabilities. And what that means is, this isn't just a potential threat. This is basically the government's official list of digital locks that hackers are picking at this very moment to break into systems.
All right, so let's get into it. What is this vulnerability exactly? Well, its official name is CVE 2026-20963. And trust me, it's a particularly nasty type of flaw. It's what the security world calls a remote code execution vulnerability, or RCE for short. Now, I know that sounds super technical, but the concept is actually pretty simple. It means a hacker can run their own code, their own programs, on your machine from anywhere on the planet.
Let me put it this way. This isn't just like giving a hacker a key to your house. Oh no, it's like giving them a key and a universal remote for literally everything inside. Your lights, your security system, your computers, you name it, they control it.
So who's at risk here? Well, this flaw hits a bunch of Microsoft SharePoint Server versions, 2016, 2019, the subscription edition, they're all on the list. But, and this is the really scary part, look at that note at the bottom. The older end-of-life versions, they're vulnerable too. And here's the kicker. They will never get a patch. They are just permanently, dangerously at risk.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This is straight from Microsoft. They said an unauthenticated attacker. Let that sink in. That means someone who doesn't even have a password. They don't need any special access. They could just inject and run code remotely. It's literally the digital equivalent of leaving your front door wide open.
Okay, but here's where the story gets really interesting. This super dangerous flaw, the one that hackers were actively using, well, guess what? It already had a fix. The solution was out there, available to everyone weeks before all these alarm bells started going off.
Let's rewind a bit. Back on January 13th, 2026, Microsoft pushed out its regular Patch Tuesday update. And this wasn't just some small patch. No, they fixed a whopping 114 different security flaws on a single day. Think about that. 114 potential disasters, all averted at once. And buried in that massive list, kind of hiding in plain sight among all 114 of those fixes, yep, there it is. Our old friend, CVE 2026-2963, just listed as another important fix. It was released to the world, just waiting. The key to lock the door had been delivered to absolutely everyone. It wasn't a secret.
And right there, with that quiet release, an invisible but incredibly high-stakes race begins. It's a race between the good guys, the people trying to defend their systems, and the bad guys, the hackers, who are now trying to figure out how to use that flaw before you can fix it.
This timeline really lays it all out, doesn't it? So January 13th, the fix is released. Then, radio silence. For 2 whole months, it's just one update out of 100. But then, boom, March 19th. CISA drops the warning. Attackers are now actively using this flaw. And all of a sudden, that quiet race becomes a frantic sprint to a hard deadline on March 21st.
And folks, this right here, this is the absolute key to this whole story. That 2-month gap, the time between the fix being available and the big warning going out, that is the attacker's playground. That's their golden window of opportunity to scan the internet and find every single server that didn't install that one little update back in January. Just to give you a sense of how real this threat was, CISA issued a direct order, a command to all federal civilian agencies. They said, you have until March 21st, that's just 2 days, to get this patch installed. This wasn't a, hey, you should probably do this. It was a, do this now. That's how serious this was.
Okay, so you might be thinking, a story about a Microsoft server and a government deadline, why does this matter to me? Well, here's why. Because this exact same race, this same dynamic, it's happening on your phone, on your laptop, on your tablet, pretty much every single day.
It all boils down to this 4-step life cycle. First, someone discovers a flaw. Then, step 2, the company creates and releases a patch. But here's the crucial part, step 3. The bad guys grab that patch, they take it apart, they reverse engineer it to figure out exactly what hole it was designed to plug. And then they build an attack to exploit that very hole. And that kicks off step 4, the race, where you have to apply that patch before they can use their new tool to find you.
So when it comes down to it, you really have 2 choices. On one hand, you have the unpatched system. That's a known, unlocked door. It's just a sitting duck waiting for an automated attack to stumble upon it. And on the other hand, you have the patched system. It's a secured, locked door, protected. It's high risk versus low risk. It really is that simple.
So from now on, I want you to think about that update available notification a little differently. Every single time you see that thing pop up on your screen, that's not an annoyance. That's your head start. It's your chance to win this silent race, to lock your door before the bad guys even start rattling the doorknobs on your street. So let me ask you this. The next time that little box pops up on your screen and you've got that choice to make, after hearing all this, after seeing exactly how this race plays out, are you still going to click Remind Me Later?